Hello, Tula here. First of all, I apologize if my voice is funny and if I will cough a lot while recording. I'm ill. I've been ill for over 2 weeks now, and it's so so frustrating, and my brain is very foggy, so I may lose my train of thought even more than usual. Sorry. So I apologize ahead. What we are seeing here today is the Jar of Life. This is a printable that I've been selling. Well, it's a design that I've been selling as a printable file on Etsy for a long while now, and I'm starting to sell this as a pre-printed shipped item. So I'm printing it on my favorite papers. The one you are seeing here now is Canson Montval. It's a 300 GSM, very thick, cold pressed paper, watercolor paper. And because my professional printer is using pigment inks, that means that the color doesn't smear when you use watercolors on it or wet media. So that opens up a whole lot of options for coloring and for creating your designs. I should maybe tell you what the principle behind this is. I made this design based on a famous allegory. I couldn't find I was researching, and I couldn't find a specific source that I can credit. The story, the allegory, is about a teacher coming into class one day and taking out 3 bags and putting them on the table and a jar, and he takes a lot of rocks from one bag and fills the jar, and he's asking his students, do you think the jar is full now? And they say yes. And then he reveals that the other bag holds pebbles, and he pours the pebbles into the rocks, and they settle between the larger rocks. And he asked them, is the jar full now? And the students say yes. And then in the third bag, from the third bag, he empties sand into the jar. And of course the sand settles in between the rocks and the pebbles. And what this allegory is trying to tell us is that if he would have placed the sand or the pebbles first, there would be no room for the rocks. But if you place the rocks first, you will have room for both the pebbles and the sand. And this allegory is for life. That if you make room for the larger for the things that are most important for you in your life, for the rocks, you can fit in the things that are more insignificant, that are not as important. But if you fill your life with the rock, the pebbles and the sand first, all the mundane and trivialities and the things that are, part of life, they will leave no room for what's important to us, for the rocks. So that's the allegory, and I made the design so that people can think and write and decorate and use this as inspiration and as a reminder of what they should prioritize in their life. If, well, okay, it's a silly example, but that's what I have now. Maybe it's better not to do the dishes and go play with your kids and use that time better. So don't let the trivialities take up all your time. Remember what's important. Okay, I've elaborated enough. So I have two designs that I offer. One has thick black outlines and one has very thin ones. And both of them are offered as both A4 and A3. So smaller, well, medium-sized and a large print. And in this example I used one with the black outlines, and it was a lot of fun to do. I needed a little reminder because, well, once in a while, you know, I do these thinking sessions. I always have them, setting my priorities setting my priorities straight and thinking of where I'm going, where I want to go, what I'm doing right, etc. Oh my God, I'm sorry I'm boring you with these details because I'm just, brain feels addled. It's like a mashed potatoes still. I apologize. And because this one is for myself and I don't have any obligation to make it nice or perfect or use just a few colors that work well together, I went wild. And you can see later on how much color I put in. I just did what felt like the right choice for the specific thing I was writing, or what came to me. I used both watercolors and pencils, all sorts, and it was very enjoyable. It didn't take too long actually, just a few hours last night. And this is the process that we're seeing. Wondering if I have any more to say. Well, I'll say one more thing, that I really enjoy using the colored pencils. Well, I used both colored pencils and aquarelle pencils. Some of them I wet, but some I used dry. And I really like using them when I already have watercolors in the background, because it gives me a nice coating of color, and the tooth of the paper, the white of the paper, doesn't show. I might have repeated this several times. Okay, I may record some more if I have anything else to mention. I'll stop for now. Of course, I remembered a few other things I want to tell you. The first of them is that the pigmenting, the print, isn't alcohol resistant. So if you use alcohol markers, it will, the color will bleed to some degree. So take that into account if you are going to use alcohol markers. And the second is that, this is an important one, that each and every print comes with a test page. It's the same paper, and you can use it to test your media and how your watercolors or acrylic or gouache or whatever works on this paper, and to try out color palettes if you want. And the test page is the certificate. I would like to read to you what it says. Thank you so much for choosing a Tula Creative Original Design. Jar of Life, what are the rocks in your life? Jar of Life allegory, a famous allegory demonstrating that if we fill a jar with pebbles and sand, there is no room left to fit in the larger rocks. Only by placing the rocks first can we later add the pebbles and finally the sand. Don't forget what's really important to you in your life and give it precedence. Otherwise, our lives will be filled by those everyday tasks, the mundane, insignificant things, the pebbles and sand of life, and we will not have enough room for the things that really do matter, our rocks. Test page. This certificate is printed on the same paper as your coloring design, so you can test your paints and coloring media on it. High quality paper. For printing, I use paper that I personally enjoy working on, watercolor or mixed media. Thick, acid-free, high-quality paper that is designed for drawing and painting. And I'll add here that this is of archival quality. It will, well, if you use the right mediums on it and frame it or protect it properly, it will last for years and years if you wanted to. Waterproof. The designs are waterproof as they are printed using pigment inks. I sincerely hope you enjoy working on this piece and that it will serve as a reminder of your priorities. And it says that it's printed on Canson Montval 300 GSM. It has all the ways to contact me. And I also say that I would love to see your results and to hear from you. Please feel free to contact me with questions, feedback, suggestions, or anything else that's on your mind. And that actually goes to all of you out there who are watching my videos. I would be so happy to interact with you. I'm so curious to know who you all are and what you're interested in and why you enjoy watching my videos if you do. Not sure I want to know why you don't like watching them if you don't. I'm a little scared of that because, you know, the negative feedback can drag you down so easily and float to the surface so many self-doubts and insecurities. Anyway, and if you have any questions or any knowledge that I can give you, any bit of information, it will make me so happy, really. I love sharing information, and I'm not an expert in most fields. Some things I think I do have a lot of knowledge of, but I do, I'm an investigator. I research so much about everything that I have an interest on, I investigate. And so I accumulated a lot of theoretical knowledge about a lot of things, even if I don't have the hands-on experience on them. So if there's anything that's on your mind and you think I may be the right person to ask, please ask. And I'm just hoping that I'll have the answer for you. Okay, so I hope you have your priorities straight and that you leave room in your life for the things that are important to you. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.